No Jumper, coolest podcast in the world. And today we have the man who goes by many names. But what do you prefer, Retro?
Yeah, a lot of people call me Retro. Some people call me Nileseyy Niles. Some people call me Niles. It just depends on who you are, you know.
Is Nileseyy Niles your birth name?
Nah, Niles is my birth name.
Okay.
My mother is the only person in the world that calls me Niles. That's how it's pronounced. But everybody just says Niles, like N-O-W-S. Niles.
Oh,
like,
Niles.
Yeah, that's how they say it. They just say Niles.
Okay.
No, my mother is the only person that says Niles, the way it's supposed to be pronounced.
So have you lived through the thing now where it's kind of like people come up to you so much because they recognize you but don't know your name that you just feel like you've been fully memeified? Do you feel like you've reached that point?
Nah, I mean, a lot of people know my name. I've been putting out videos for a minute now, so like, just whatever they call me, I'm comfortable with. You know, if they come up and say, yo, Niles, if they come up, you know, that's my birth name. So anybody around me, close to me, that's what they call me. So if they come up to me and say, yo, Niles, I'm comfortable with that. If they come up and say, yo, Retro, or, you know, Nileseyy, whatever they want to call me, you know, it's cool.
Because I was with Getter and Nick Coletti from the Sudude meme. Sudude. And like, it's insane because they both are like relatively well known, but they get people coming up to them who know them just as like, you're the Sudude guy so much. And today, a couple different times, I said to like probably 5 different people, I was like, you know, Retrospective. Yeah, oh, yeah. A couple people were like, no, who's that? I'm like, you know, the disappearing peace sign meme guy? And they're like, oh, yeah.
Okay, let me give a disclaimer. Everything I say is from my perspective. I can't speak for nobody else. And I'm only speaking from the way I see things, and I'm a thinker, right? So questions sometimes are deeper than they are to me. But you know what I'm saying? I got 2 different moods. Sometimes they just sometimes I'm gonna think on it. As far as somebody saying, oh, the disappearing guy, I don't feel, you know, no type of way about that. It's like, if that's what you know me from, that's fine. I have multiple talents. You know, I play drums as well. I make music as well. There's multiple things that I do. So if you know me from rap song that you heard, if you know me from the disappearing videos that you see, if you know me from another type of video, if you know me from playing drums, you know, that's fine with me.
A guy like you're like the true definition of what it is to be like a modern internet celebrity, because you're spread between all these different mediums, all these different talents. You have so many different ways of engaging with people and so many ways of hitting. And it kind of says a lot because you've done the very, very short form content and you've done the 20-minute YouTube thing.
Right.
It's so different.
Yeah, well, one thing a lot of people that's different about me is like a lot of people, they say, quote unquote, real talent. You know, I don't know. I mean, real talent, I feel like is whatever you put your energy into. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you focus your energy into, you can tell what you focus your energy into in life. And whatever that is, that's your talent. But me, before I was making videos, I was playing drums at age 5. You know, I was first interested in playing drums growing up in church. I was born in Harlem, New York. So, and I moved to Maryland, and I was raised.
At what age?
What age did I move to Maryland?
Yeah.
I moved to Maryland probably like the third, 4th grade. But the thing is, I have family. All of my family is in New York. We're the only ones that's in Maryland. So it's like I'm back and forth in between New York all the time. All my family is there. But I was raised in the DMV. So being raised there, it's like I was still into music, even coming from New York, and I was playing the drums at age 5, and I first got into it through church, going to church with my moms and stuff like that. I just felt the bass, you know what I'm saying? I felt it in my chest, and it was just like, oh, that's cool. So I always go.
You were just drawn to it.
Yeah, it was just somewhere. It was just like, I wasn't even paying it. I'd be in church, like not even everybody shouting this and that, and I just feel the drums, you know, feel it in my body. So it was just like feeling that, I was like, that's powerful. You know what I'm saying? I was just drawn to it. So every day after church or every Sunday, I'd go over there and I'd just be, you know, around them, you know, and that was just my interest right there. I got my first drum set like 6 years old. My mom got me a drum set, and since then, you know, it was music and then just being creative and just so multifaceted and stuff like that. So
that's so crazy though, because I feel like I've never seen a 5 or 6 year old playing drums before. Like,
yeah, I see a couple of them now, and I just be like, dang, I hope they continue, because I want everybody to, you know what I'm saying, succeed and just be great. I feel like when you start at something at a young age, you just got that advantage. You know, I talk to my little brother now, even coming from high school and what I was focused on, my mentality and stuff like that, and just growing up and seeing, like, looking back and just seeing what people focus on. I be telling him, like, you know, get into whatever you want to do right now, you know, and just put the time and put the hours in it, because nobody's willing to do it right now. You know what I'm saying? Everybody right now, they want to see what shoes you got on. They want to see Jordans. They want to see this. Oh, he fresh. He got a chain. He got this and that. This don't mean nothing. You know what I'm saying? None of this mean nothing. So it's just like, put your energy into what you want to put it into, and you going to see it. You're going to see it prosper.
Because if you're in high school and you're obsessing over clothes and girls and all this stuff, it's like you're kind of missing the point that when you're 14, 15, 16, it's like this is the time in your life. And especially I hate motherfuckers who are just chilling, smoking weed. They're 14, 15 and stuff.
Yeah.
Not that I hate them, because those are my fans and I fucks with you. But it's like when you're that young, you should not want to chill. You should want to hustle. You should want to work on your passion or your craft.
But it's all, I think it's all depending on what you're around. You know what I'm saying? One thing people sleep on is positive reinforcements. It's a lot of negativity around in the world. You know, it's a lot of negativity. You could, even doing this podcast, you know what I'm saying? Somebody that you know could have been like, oh, you about to start a podcast? What? What are you doing? You know what I'm saying? But that's your vision. Everybody don't understand your vision. And the thing is, you just need to surround yourself with that person who's going to be like, I mean, that's different, but hey, you know what I'm saying? Do it. Right.
Well, so when you first started to put like videos online, you were just doing it to fucking make the people in the neighborhood laugh and stuff like that, right?
Yeah. I started with my boy B and Lena Cuisine, and they started before me, and I jumped on with them, and we were making videos before Instagram came out with video, before Twitter, before Vine. We were making videos on like Facebook. Like, these are videos that can be tracked, like it'll look like pixels. You know what I'm saying? Like squares on.
Were they the Lean Squad before you got involved, or did you?
Yeah. They were the Lean Squad before I got involved. So I knew Lena Cuisine when I first moved to Maryland. We lived in the same neighborhood. We went to elementary school together, all of that, and then I moved away, and I moved different places and just moved around Maryland and stuff like that. But B, later on in life, I met B-Nard, and B-Nard he was like, oh yeah, I met this dude, Casey, I'm making videos with him, blah, blah, blah. And then when he showed me him, I was like, oh, I know him. You know what I'm saying? I used to go to school and we lived in the same neighborhood. And then that's when he brought him back around. And then that's when it was just like, you know what I'm saying, like that. And it's natural to us. So it wasn't like, oh, you know, some audition and nothing like that. It was just natural. And
I think a lot of people miss out on that. You know, I was thinking the other day about how life sucks, like when you're young and shit, until you actually have a good group of friends that you feel comfortable around. Because like if you didn't have those dudes sort of like to support the stuff that you were into in terms of just being funny online, you might not have felt so comfortable. And then it wasn't just you doing that for a little bit, it was you doing that year after year after year, refining your style, figuring out different things that work, that make people laugh, that people like. And you had that from so young that you got like a lot of years from very early on of that practice, which I think is so important for somebody who's going to be successful, you know?
This is the camera, right? I want to give a disclaimer, another disclaimer. Well, not a disclaimer, but just an announcement to everybody to support your friends. Support them, and that's the biggest thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, even in high school, I was never focused on, like, being the cool. Like, I was all right, you know what I'm saying? I knew people, and I was cool with a lot of people or whatever, but I was never focused on, like, oh, I'm the coolest. I got to talk to them. The reason why is because I got 5 brothers. I got 2 sisters. I'm the second to youngest. I got a younger brother, so I'm the second to youngest. The thing is, I always had my family, and I always had a small, super small circle of friends, and just that support system alone. Everything outside of that was just like, you know, anybody can say anything about me. You can say, oh, you fat, you this, you that, you that. You know what I'm saying? Nothing mattered, because I knew when I got home, these are the people that support me. These are the people that matter. This is my circle. They're going to be the ones who make me, you know what I'm saying? You can't control the world, but, you know, what you surround yourself with, that's what you can control.
That's really unique, I think. I think a lot of times when you hear from really funny people who become comedians or actors and stuff, a lot of times they have that sort of family environment where their family is so comfortable. Like if you grow up in an environment where you can joke around with your mom and dad, you're so much more likely to end up having a good sense of humor, I guess, if your parents were open about comedy from a young age, or not just comedy, but about just fun conversations and being playful with each other and stuff, which is kind of required.
Yeah. My mom definitely got a huge sense of humor, and she was definitely one of those people who was just like, you know, I can say anything. We could joke around and stuff like that. And I think that's because when you're raised, you look at things differently. You think, okay, I'm gonna do this different with my kids. I'm gonna do this different with my kids, and your kids might do something different with their kids. She was raised kind of strict. So with us, she was like more loose and more, you know what I'm saying? It was more fun, and it was just like, you know, you can do what you want, and we just had that relationship. So it was like that's what allowed me, I think, to just be creative and just be free.
All right, guys, so we had to bust in here real quick to give a shout out to our sponsor. That's getquip.com/nojumper, getquip.com/nojumper. Basically, for those of you who watch the vlogs, you'll know that recently I went to the dentist and they told me that my gums were being pushed back a little bit too much from aggressive brushing, and that the best thing that I could do would be to get a high-quality electric toothbrush. It just so happens that we landed one as a sponsor of this podcast. It's a very organic introduction to this product. It's the best electric toothbrush I've ever had. And one cool thing about it is that you can subscribe to receive new brush heads on a dentist recommended 3-month plan for just $5. It includes free shipping. And the cool part is that you will get your first refill pack free if you use the getquip.com/nojumper URL. So head on over there. If you want to get an electric toothbrush, I can promise you this is a great one. It's a great way to support the podcast. Thank you very much to them for supporting us. Let's get back into it. Do you feel like you might have got some of your sense of humor too from the fact that you were surrounded by so many other siblings that you sort of had to compete for attention? Like you're around people who are older than you and have a more evolved sense of humor, a more evolved ability to have conversations, and you're younger and you're sort of wanting to compete with that.
I don't think it's not really competing, because all of my family is talented. You know, my older brother, he plays the piano. Another one that was coming up playing the guitar, and you know, I got 2 brothers that sing. My sisters sing. Like everybody's talented. My mother sings. You know, she's sung in the Apollo before. Like I said, I'm born in New York. You know,
right.
So it's just like that talent and music and stuff like that, it runs in my family. So it's just like, it was never a competition. If anything, it's just like we all here together. You know what I'm saying? Our goal is to work together and build each other up. I made my first song like probably like 5 years old, and I remember it to this day because my brothers, they'll never let me forget it. They'll say, "Oh, I remember you used to sing, 'It's a boy, play a drum. It's a boy, play a drum.'" That was the song that I made like 5, 6 years old. And just being around, you know, music, being around drum, that was on my mind. You know what I'm saying? That's what I was focused on. And I just always, you know, had that environment and that freedom around me. So I just think that's important for people to support people and let them know, you know what I'm saying? Whatever you want to do, whether it's taking pictures, whether it's, you know, making, you know, selling hair for the ladies, you know what I'm saying? I know ladies like selling hair, makeup, or, you know, fitness or health, whatever they want to do.
Pussy.
Whatever you want to do, you know what I'm saying? Even that, you know, if that's what your friend want to do and y'all sat down and had a serious talk, then support them, you know, either that or you're not a good friend.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that is a weird thing, because when I think about it, like, you need that creative group of people to support you. You need like until you find your friends, life can be very, very tough.
Bruh, like,
especially if you're a creative.
I used to have a mentality where I didn't want to like talk to nobody. You know what I'm saying? Like when you working, sometimes it get frustrating, like waiting on people, or, you know, trying to do this, trying to do that, and then you might go into a mindset where it's like, I'm not waiting on nobody, I'm about to do this by myself, you know. And to an extent, you gotta have that kind of energy, because you can't wait for people. At the end of the day, you control everything, and you gotta keep pushing regardless of what. But the thing you gotta also realize on the other end is you can't do it alone. You know what I'm saying? You cannot do it alone at all. Like, I would be nowhere without the people that I surround myself with, and without them, I wouldn't have got to the level that I got to. So you need a support group.
So you and the Lean Squad are officially, you know, you're putting videos on Facebook, just sort of doing stuff more for the local friends and stuff like that. When did it start to occur to you, like, oh, we're actually making videos that people outside of our little circle can enjoy?
Well, so they had this app called Cinemagram. I don't know if you remember it.
Yeah.
This was before Vine came out. So
Right.
It was just like, it was silent. It was no sound on it. It was like a 5-6 second loop, something like that. But the thing is, it was no sound. And excuse me. Lean Cuisine, he was like super popping on it. So he had this big fan base. And when he came and he brought that, it was like we was already natural. So it's just like we just keep going, doing what we did. We was never worried about numbers. We was never worried about growing a fan base or, you know, doing it. We was literally just doing it for us. Like just doing it for fun and just to show each other like that was funny. Like just completing it. It didn't matter who viewed it. And then when we got to a level where it was like I think just over time, just the more like just being aware and just reading things like comments and stuff like that, like you just start to realize like, okay, yeah, this is going somewhere. Like let's get on it. You know what I'm saying? Let's work.
Yeah. When did you was there any like content in particular that you put out that first started to feel like it was, you know, actually reaching a bigger audience? Was there like one breakthrough piece?
When I started the whole disappearing thing.
So that was the first one.
So I was making like I make like different videos and stuff like that, and it's like little segments and stuff like that, and little storylines and all of that. But like when I started the whole disappearing thing, and this is me working with Lean Squad. You know what I'm saying? I'm in Lean Squad right now, so all three of us are as a collective. We making videos together separately, that thing like that. And then when I started doing the disappearing videos, that was like the thing that shot me like, you know, no jumper. They go to plug.
Balling.
No jumper.
Yeah, but so when you officially, so what, you were just making Vines at that point, and was that part of a Vine?
I was making Vines, Facebook videos. Specifically, I think that was for Vine because I don't know if Twitter came out with a video yet. So see, I think it was for Vine.
You're so lucky that you always kind of knew that it was important to do stuff on all platforms, because people who just started out with the Vine thing, you know, that just like.
Yeah, see, that's the difference though. You know what I'm saying? Like Vine was a blessing and a curse at the same time, because it's like people, it's so many people, so many creative minds that was on there, and so many people that could have did positive things in the world, and you know what I'm saying, just changed it. But because that was their only outlet, you know what I'm saying, once Vine shut down, you know, you're not the CEO of that company. You don't control that. So
did you do a good job like spreading your Vine fame to like Twitter and because you have a shitload of followers on fucking YouTube and Facebook or Twitter and everything? Nah.
So I did Vine, and I did Vine for like, I wasn't even popping on Vine for.
Oh,
real.
you weren't?
No.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure everybody knows or heard of King Bat's name before at some point. You know, he was popping on Vine. Like when we were doing Vines, he was the #1 guy on Vine. Like him and his whole team was popping and stuff like that. So it was just like, that's why I say just being aware and just knowing things like, okay, they're doing this, they're popping. So what can we do? What can we do different? You know what I'm saying? How can we come different? And it was just important to be ahead, you know, one step, and just like, okay, well, they controlling Vine. So the next thing that come out, let's jump on it.
Right.
So once Twitter came out, I remember my brother, he was like, it was some other app that came out. He was like, yeah, go ahead and start putting y'all videos in here. I was like, and we was just like, you know, it was like a little corny app or something like that. But then, you know, Twitter came out with video, and we was just like, boom, let's jump on it, you know, immediately. Because we knew we had the content. We had the vision. We always had the ideas, and we always, you know, it's natural to us. So we always knew what we were going to do. It's just about the timing. You know, the timing is everything.
When you look back at that era, what was like an average day of you making content? Because you got to think, some days you'd be making a little 5-6 second video. Some days you're making a fucking 10-minute video. Like, how would you guys sort of brainstorm and collaborate?
Well, we weren't making 10-minute videos then. Okay. So like, it's funny because like time flies so much. Like by the time, you know what I'm saying, people could watch this interview like years later, and they'll be like, oh dang, that was 3 years ago. You know what I'm saying? You would never know. But looking back at those videos, that was like 4 years ago compared to now and where we are now, and you know what we're doing. But we weren't making like 10-minute videos then, so it was just like quick. That's what we were limited to, 6-second Vines. And it was just like, it was different because it was so you had to push so much inside of 6 seconds, and it was like cutting people attention span shorter. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's before you could even edit it. Where you had to film it all just, in app.
Yeah.
That shit was crazy.
Yeah, it was like real crazy. It was just like you was forced and limited to just to be inside this box, and you had to make somebody die laughing in 6 seconds or you're not funny. And you know what I'm saying? People attention span should be longer than that. And it was unfair, but nothing is fair. You know what I'm saying? It's just, it was what it was. So it was just like, we made that work. And we was making the 6-second videos every day. We would go out there, we would all go out there and just record after record. I shot a video, B shot a video, Lean shot a video, I shoot another video, B shoot another. You know what I'm saying? It was just back to back, and it was every day.
Yeah, and it's crazy too, because I think when people think about Vine and Vine's legacy, a lot of it is the fact that so many new creators were given a voice on them because it was a platform that, you know, a celebrity or a famous person probably wasn't going to take the time to figure out. You had a lot of people like you who didn't have a ton of connections in the industry or whatever, who were able to use this platform to blow up, who didn't necessarily have a lot, but you were like so close to the internet that you were able to figure out this new platform before other people started to.
Yeah. It's like, even looking at like labels, and not to even take it to that conversation, but labels and TV networks and every like all of these big corporations and stuff like that, people, you got to be a visionary. You know what I'm saying? Like I understand sometimes, like when Kanye goes on whatever rant he goes on sometimes, because I feel like he's a visionary. Like he has a vision, and he knows what he can do, and he knows what he sees. And sometimes, you know, and I feel like that's why people relate to different people. Like I relate to that because I have a vision, and if I have a vision, I get frustrated. You know what I'm saying? You can feel it. Like I get frustrated if I can't make that vision happen. And I believe that I can make any vision happen. So it's just like knowing where things are going, and like I said, being aware of what's happening in the world, what's going on around, like, and having that vision, and having those goals, and knowing, like I said, timing is everything. Just knowing like, okay, I'm gonna sit back right now, and then boom, you know what I'm saying? I'm jumping out there. It's just like, you gotta know when, and you gotta know where, you gotta know what time, and you just it gotta be calculated. Like a lot of people just wing stuff, and you got to know when and how to work everything, you know.
And you know, I feel like a lot of people are sort of hesitant to want to just sit back and learn. They feel like right now they should be able to start, you know, doing their big dream or whatever. And like the reason why I started doing interviews in large part was because I was watching so many interviews, because I realized that there were so many people I could learn from, and that watching interviews is like the easiest way. Like some kid who's sitting there watching us right now is basically having this conversation with us, except they can't really talk. You know, they could go on Twitter and say, hey, you're a fucking bum, blah, blah, blah. But that's fine. But you know, like, so them sitting and listening to this, like, it's very, you know, they could get closer to knowing as much stuff as we know about what's going on in the world, because they were sort of taking in the conversation. And it's like that with anything. Like, if you're a kid and you want to work in music, you should go get a fucking internship just so you can be around musicians and shit, regardless of what's happening right now. You might need to go do your internship for 2 years, but then you meet the right people, you might be able to do more that way.
Yeah, and I think like the internet plays such an important role in everybody's life. Like technology period plays such an important role. Like Vine period played an important role, just cutting down people's like their attention span. You know what I'm saying? Like even Instagram, when they used to have 15-second videos and stuff like that, like it just it controls you differently. And it's like, you gotta be willing to put time aside. You know, that's why I tell people, like, it's okay if something's gonna take a year, if something's gonna take 2 years, it's all right. You know what I'm saying? At the end of that 2 years, the people who didn't start, they're gonna look at you like, dang, look at him. You know what I'm saying? I remember him from 2 years ago. That's what people start saying stuff like, oh, you changed, or you doing this, you doing that. No, it's just like, I started working on what I had to work on. And that's why I say, like, it's never too late. Like, and you just gotta start somewhere, and you gotta be willing to put in the time. Like somebody can see, I just dropped a 7-minute video yesterday. It was 7 minutes, and somebody can judge that and say, this is funny, this is not funny. But what they don't know is that it took 8 or 9 hours to shoot. You know what I'm saying? Whatever I had to sacrifice to make that happen, or whatever my videographers, Matt and Ryan, had to sacrifice to make that happen. We made it happen for those 9 hours. And then after that, I stayed up, you know what I'm saying, however long, sometimes forgetting to eat, just editing, just sitting in front of my...
You do all your own editing?
I do all of my own editing because I feel like you're not going to understand my vision. You know what I'm saying? I script the whole thing out, and there's a way, just like, when I just think about it, I can say, oh, yeah, he comes in the room, and I can just see it in my head, like where the camera angle is going to be at, how it's going to pan, where it's going to come from. So I do all of my own editing and stuff like that. So just put in like just forgetting to eat and like put in like 6 hours, 7 hours just into it that day until I can't go no more. And then the next day coming back to it, editing again and just perfecting and going through every single song, every single sound effect that I use on my videos, just making sure every single thing is right. Like that kind of thing, like people don't have the patience for it nowadays. You know what I'm saying? They think everything comes quick, and it's like you got to be willing to put your energy into your craft, and what you want to do is going to take hours, it's going to take years, it's going to take time, but once that time comes over, it's going to be worth it, you know?
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of it's just connecting the dots and shit in general. Like you need to just learn about different things, learn different skills, and then at some point you'll find a way to put them all together. Like and just follow the passions that you have. We're getting super like inspirational after school special here for some reason, but
that's what it is.
Yeah, you got to just, because listen, like I happen to know about podcasting, and I happen to know about like a specific like type of rap that was popping up, you know, SoundCloud rap, this whole scene and stuff. And it was like the fact that I already was doing BMX podcasts, and then I like then knew about this thing. I put them together, boom, No Jumper happens. And like from your perspective, like, you know, you for a certain period of time might have been somebody who's just watching videos online, but you're young and you're creative and stuff. So then you take that information, and like even when you're sitting around just consuming content, watching like joke videos on Twitter, Vine, Instagram, whatever, you're learning. You're like picking up on things. Like if you're smart, you're looking at that and thinking like, well, what's my version of that? How could I make my own kind of spin on this thing that I'm watching?
Yeah, and it's just about. I feel like you can't fake it though. You know what I'm saying? You can't fake it, because in the long run, you know what I'm saying? Even you doing a podcast, in the long run, your longevity in what you do, that's going to tell a story. It's going to tell whether you really put the time in, whether you really was, you know what I'm saying, out here touching the people, whether you really was focused on your craft. Like I feel like it comes so natural, and what I was surrounded by and just coming up, it just came so natural, and it was just like it wasn't hard for me to, you know what I'm saying, just want to work and want to do this and have this video. It was just the only constraint to me is just making it happen and having the outlets and the means to make it happen.
Do you feel like you've been on your own kind of the whole, I mean, you have your squad, but have you ever had like a manager or somebody who was really like helping you get deals or stuff like that? Or have you mostly been doing everything your own?
I have 2 managers now.
Okay.
So that's now, but before, yeah, I was doing everything on my own. But, you know, I was replying. I used to reply to everybody on my own and stuff like that. But even then, you know what I'm saying? Like when people don't know about the business aspect, like that's why I says you got to learn everything. You know what I'm saying? Like you want to be smart. You want to be, you don't want to just say, okay, I got a manager, they going to take care of everything. You know what I'm saying? You want to know the behind the scenes. So even before I got a manager, I was doing replying to emails, like knowing how to word a paragraph and knowing how to, you know what I'm saying? Like I was the one doing that. So having these conversations with people, I knew how to have business conversations and how to get my point across, let them know what I want, and you know what I'm saying, this and that and different things, just how to talk through business. And then that way when I did get a manager, and I got 2 managers now, it's just like the communication is just so much easier. I'm not confused with anything. You know what I'm saying? I can have any open conversation with them just saying, yo, what's going on? They can break down numbers, everything to me. I understand all of it. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I say. That's why I say it's important to just learn, you know, just read on things and just consume information. That's the biggest thing ever.
Facts, yeah. Like getting a manager or whatever is kind of risky for a lot of people, because they get a manager so that they never have to learn how the business works. In reality, you want to get a manager because at a certain point you get so busy that you can't necessarily do everything for yourself, but you want to be able to understand as much of the business as possible.
Yeah. You don't go and get a manager just saying like, oh, I'm trying to be popping, I need a manager. You know what I'm saying? Manage me.
A lot of people basically do that.
Yeah, that's not the way to go. You know what I'm saying? I didn't get a manager until I got into a crossroads where I was busy trying to shoot, edit, and I can't respond to emails, and emails are taking too long. Like I'm losing business, and you know what I'm saying, and this and that, and I can't do anything because I'm taking so long to handle things. So it's just like I need a manager, I need help, you know. And that's where it's like you come to that realization where it's just like I want to do everything on my own, and I don't want to look for nobody help. But it's just like you can't do it on your own. You need help, and it's okay.
Yeah. Tell me this: the concept, the whole theme. You have a lot of different videos that fit into this format of blank rapper in the studio. How did that first come about? And was it originally the intention like, oh, this is how we're going to call attention to gay lyrics in hip hop?
Nah. So where that came from is just listening to music. Period. You know, it's not. I don't know how deep people look at it as, but like literally, it's just imagine if me and you was just listening to a song and you just heard a bar and you was just like, "That's wild."
That
you know
Soulja Boy line had me dying, bro. Because that's the exact kind of thing that me and my friends would freak the fuck out over.
It's just like I don't know how deep, you know what I'm saying, somebody else might look at it as, but it's just literally that simple. Like if you was to play a song, you just heard a bar and it was just like, oh, bro, that's wild. You know what I'm saying? And even a gay person or something where they'd be like, where did the context fit in that? Like, it's not even about what they're saying. It's just in the context of everything, like the song, the vibe, who you are, the person, what you represent, what you do. Like, where did that bar fit? You know what I'm saying? That's where the comedy comes from.
That's what I love about it, because anyone who's actually been in the studios with rappers and stuff knows that a lot of times these guys are in there, they're super fucked up, they're barely piecing their lyrics together, they're not really thinking about what they're saying. So I can totally understand how Soulja Boy would basically just say that he was fucking Zaytoven, even though that's not what he wanted to say.
Okay, all right, you can say that, but then you could also say, where was Zaytoven? Did Zaytoven know he was going to use this beat?
I mean, but that says a lot too, because a lot of producers will send out a song and they never fucking even think about what happens to it after. You know, they get their little money or whatever. They're not paying attention to the lyrics. That whole lyric and the fact that you called attention to it so good is just so amazing to me, because it just calls attention to how little attention certain rappers are paying attention. And the fact that Zaytoven didn't know either just underscores the whole point, kind of.
Yeah, it's just like, and it don't even stop at Zaytoven. I don't know what the audio was kind of crunchy, so I don't know if it was like, you know what I'm saying, home produced in a home studio or not mixed and mastered or something like that, because it goes also to the engineer. You know, when you sent these tracked out to the engineer, did he say, yo, where did this come from?
Yeah.
Okay, when you sent it to get mastered, did mastering engineer, did he say, yo, did anybody stop you in any of that process and say,
but you know what's funny? The one that you did about cannabis, where he said, you know, you won't eat someone's ass like me. That's funny, because that always stood out to me as such a weird gay line. But then also, people weren't talking about ass eating back when he said that in like 1998. So now, like saying I'll eat your ass as like a battle rapper was probably kind of common. Like, I think that nobody was talking about licking butt or anything back then.
Yeah, that wasn't really the wave. You know, nobody was really saying that like that. But like now, that's wild. You know,
now people talk about
if you say something like that to anybody that's male or female out of nowhere, not even depending on the context, unless you're in the bedroom, that's just wild. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, what did you just say? Like, that doesn't make sense. And he's
bragging about his ability to eat ass. You know, you can't eat an ass like me. It's like, whoa, what the fuck?
Like, not like me. You know what I'm saying? Like, you might do it like you. Nah, you not
got special skills.
You not touching me. Like, if I get back there, like I'm trying to tell you, you not touching me. But I don't get it. You know. But I mean, that was a different time. So
tell me this: who's your first girlfriend?
Who's my first girlfriend? I don't know. Some real or fake?
Either way, let's hear both.
Fake probably back in like, I don't know, first grade. You know, you always got like some
kiss her on the cheek or something.
Yeah, some little girl you kiss on the cheek. My first real girlfriend, I feel like I'm dating now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like I've dated other girls and stuff like that, but it's just like when you get into something real, you know when something, you know what I'm saying? You know it's real. So I feel like now is my first real girlfriend. But
how long has this been going on?
I've been dating this girl almost a year.
Okay. How old are you?
19.
19? Holy shit, I thought you were way older than that. That's crazy. Nah,
it's because I got a beard, you know.
Yeah.
You got the full beard.
No, you're just too smart to be 19. That's like, normally people who are 19 are a little like confused. You kind of seem like you got it together.
Nah, yeah. I spent a lot of time reading, a lot of time talking, just, you know what I'm saying?
So you finished high school?
Yeah.
Okay. And then you didn't think about going to college at all? You're moving to LA?
I did. Nah, I did want to go to college. I wanted to go. I was so, like I said, I started playing music young. I was so into like drums and stuff like that. I remember my 10th grade year, I got sent to Berklee College of Music in Boston fully paid. They have this summer program. It goes for a couple of weeks or something like that. It's like so thousands of dollars, whatever. They sent me there, fully paid for. I was staying with like the dean of music there. You know what I'm saying? Like staying in with him. So it's just like that personal connection. I was like so like mentally ready. I was like, oh, I'm about to get into Berkeley College of Music. I'm about to be like, you know, on tour, doing this with music, doing that. And I went to the college program, and I was just, like I said, I'm real big on listening and just soaking up information and stuff. So I'm just talking to different people there, and a lot of people that I was talking to, like, these are people from different countries that may have came to study music here in this country and stuff like that. And it was just like what they teach you is good, but what it's all about is the connections. A lot of them went there and didn't finish. So it's just like now you wasted the money and all of that time, but you know what I'm saying? You got the connections. That's the positive. But you know what I'm saying? It's just the negative is the money and the debt and how much it costs. Like I remember talking to this one guy, like he sacrificed literally everything. I wish I remember his name because I'd give him a shout out just because, but he was saying how he sacrificed, you know, everything just coming to the US to study at Berkeley, and he doesn't even know if he's going to finish. But the good thing is that he got what he needed out of it were the connections and stuff like that, you know.
But I mean, from someone in your perspective, it's like you already built this following for yourself online. I feel like you already have all these opportunities and stuff that going to college to make connections. It's like that's what you've been doing by putting content online for all these years, is making connections like that, probably, right?
Yeah. I've been making so many connections, and the thing is, like, I feel like college, like you can learn things and, like, you know, book smart. Yeah. Be book smart, and especially depending on what you're into as far as mathematics or science or geography, whatever you're into, that's what you want to learn, then you should go to college and you should, you know what I'm saying, definitely invest your time into that and learn more. But I just felt like I was growing up mentally at a young age and just soaking up so much and knowing so much and being aware. I just felt like this was my only time, you know what I'm saying? I'm 19 years old now. This is my only time that I'm going to be this young. This is my only time that I'm going to have the energy that I have right now. Tomorrow's not promised to me. You know what I'm saying?
You know what's most important? The momentum that you have right now from putting stuff online. You go away for a year, it's a lot of times hard to come back, you know?
It's shaky, you know? So it's just like, and that's why I feel like this is literally like, I feel like everything that I do is so much bigger than me, because it's like I can go to college. I can go to college at 25. I can go to college at 30.
And that's more and more normal these days than it ever was before, too, I think.
And I understand, you know what I'm saying, your brain sometimes works differently. It'll be a little different, you know, getting back into it. But, you know, you got tutors, you got different things to help you that won't, you're not going to be slow. You know what I'm saying? It's possible as long as you're mentally kept up. You're going to be okay if you go to college. But now this is the only time that I can do what I do. I talk to my friends, and you know what I'm saying? They say, "Oh, you so lucky. You could fly here. You be out here one week. You be out here another week. You do this. You do that." And I tell them, but you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it is fun. I can't lie. First of all, it's super fun. Like, you know, my work is super fun. I have the most fun ever. But the thing is, like, at the end of your 4 years after we graduated, what you're gonna make sure you do is you have that degree. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be safe, and you're gonna have that degree and secure it, and you out in the working world. And now it's up to you to figure out how your life goes. With me, I have to make sure I work as hard as possible. You know what I'm saying? I can't regret anything. I can't regret any decisions I make. So it's just like, I want to make sure I'm putting as much work into and as much energy into my craft as I can and everything that I'm doing, because I don't want to regret. I could sleep until 4:00 p.m. if I want. Nobody controls my hours, but what good does that do? You know?
Yeah.
I go away that's going to turn into a habit. Like you said, you go away for a year. You know, I make that a habit and then go away for 6 months, and then what happens? You know, you just forget about me.
There's a lot of other funny people online, you know, like those fans might just be like, oh, well, we can't go laugh at his stuff, or we can't listen to his shit anymore, so I guess we got to find somebody else. And then all of a sudden you...
Yeah.
And I think taking time off can be important, but you got to do it strategically if you do want to do it, you know?
Yeah. And the thing is, like, I'm super grateful for our fans, because, like, we've literally been doing this over 5 years, and, like, we have fans that grew, and I don't even call them fans. it's just because you said the word is in my head. I always call them supporters because I don't know, fan is just a weird word to me.
Yeah.
I don't. Sometimes it strike people where like I'm a fan of you.
And because you built it from the ground up so much that they don't really feel like supporters or fans because you've seen that develop one by one. You know?
Yeah. So it's just not like, oh, this is some fan. You know what I'm saying?
You
It's
just got
like,
a lot of friends.
Yeah.
That's the way I like to think of it too, you know?
Yeah, because like we literally grew up together. Like they've been watching our videos 5+ years. So it's just like these people that are in middle school that's graduating high school now, these people that are in high school that's graduating college now, that we took through different phases of their life, got them through different things, depression, different things like that. And it's just like, I look at that more than like, oh, you're a fan. You know what I'm saying? Like you're a supporter of mine. And I really appreciate that. So it's a shout out to them.
All right, guys. Second ad. This is our last ad. Don't worry. NoJumper.com. That is the place where you're going to want to head if you want to buy No Jumper hoodies, mugs, t-shirts, hats, merchandise from all kinds of brands that we're associated with, artists that we're associated with. You can get yourself a No Jumper condom. There's all kinds of stuff on there. If you want to pay respect, if you want to support what we're doing over here, having fascinating, insightful conversations like the one that you're right in the middle of right now, if you want to support us, head on over to NoJumper.com. Pick yourself up a kendama, whatever you want. All right, back into the podcast. So when did you get the call about the Atlanta thing?
It was like super late at night. I was just like, I was laying down in my bed. I forgot what I was doing. I don't know if I was on a phone or Twitter or something like that, but I was laying on my bed. I was just like about to go to sleep. And then I checked my email, and then that's when I seen the email. I was like, nah. I read it, and I was like, nah.
But was it from Donald Glover or was it
It
from...
wasn't from like Donald.
Okay.
It was from his team. But
Right.
I was just like, nah. And then that's when I read it again. And then I was still like, nah. And then I was like, hold on. So I called my manager on FaceTime, and it's like, it's super late. It's like 2 o'clock in the morning or something like that. 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. I call him on FaceTime, and then he like, yo, what's up? So I'm like, bruh. Like, it's just still unbelievable that I'm like, bruh. So I'm like, I'm about to just forward you something. I ain't going to even explain it. I'm about to forward you something to your email right now. So he was like, all right. So I forward him the email. He read it. He was like, nah. And then we both like, bruh, this like, it was like a surreal moment, basically. And it was just like, I was super grateful for that. And then they reached out telling me what they wanted to do. And then like, a couple weeks after that, I was flown out to Atlanta.
What was your reaction when they told you what they wanted you to do? Because you basically, for those who don't know, Atlanta, one of the funniest shows ever. I'm a huge fan of it. I'll admit that this is, I think, the first time I actually like really knew about you. I'd seen you in memes and stuff, but this is the first time I was like, who is that guy? And I had to Google you and stuff. But you played a black man who's convinced that he is a 35-year-old white man.
Right. So I was a
what did you say when you heard that? You're a transracial guy. You're like, what the fuck?
Nah, I wasn't too thrown off about it. So I did this skit like before Atlanta was on. I did this skit. You heard of Rachel Dolezal? You know what that is?
Love that.
Okay,
I think I might be transracial as well.
So look, so I did this like skit, basically flipped that Rachel Dolezal story, and I was like a black person playing a white person, and then it was just like, you know, quarter brick, half a brick, whole brick, hey, and then they caught me. That's how they caught that I was black. So basically, I was already like, you know, I've done stuff like that, so it was just like, it's all funny to me. So when I got the script and everything like that, I was just like, bet this is gonna be funny. Like I was just like, I already see it right now. It's just gonna fit my personality. I was like, that's funny.
So then you get flown out to meet him, or how'd that go?
Yeah, so I got flown out to Atlanta, and then I had to, you know, learn the script and everything like that, and then we got on the set, and I had my own little trailer and all of this and that, and yeah, and then I met him, and then we sat, we talked, and we was just like eating lunch together. It was just me and him, and we was just talking, you know, and yeah, that's where I met him.
I mean, so many little details in this show really like proved that Donald Glover like pays attention to the culture and that he kind of knows what's going on. He had like a lot of dope like underground rap songs sort of playing in the video. The fact that he would go out and get somebody like you is just like, it shows that he actually kind of had his finger on the culture. And the show is just so fucking funny and well written. I'm about to watch the whole fucking first season again that I'll be ready for season 2.
You should.
I love that shit.
So I think he has his finger on the culture, and it's just like I said, it's about being aware and just knowing what's going on. Like I was super, you know, I'm still super grateful for, you know, that opportunity and where that took me, because it's like a lot of people, and this is why I say support your friends and just support positivity and just help people, because like a lot of people we've been doing this, not even just me, but the rest of my team, we've been doing this for a while. So it's just like, for him to be the person to be like, yo, I recognize what you're doing. You know, I want to put you on this new platform. I want to do this with you. I want you to be involved in this. And just conversations that we had personally one-on-one, it was just like, I was like, it's super, I appreciate it a lot. And it was just like, you don't get that genuineness from a lot of people, you know?
Yeah, it's cool. Like, because for somebody like him, he could kind of like jump-started, not jump-started your whole career, but on a TV level, he could have just opened the door for you to do all kinds of dope shit. Because were you even thinking about like TV as the kind of thing that you wanted to do before this?
Yeah, TV was like, I think it wasn't like a goal, like, oh, I want to do TV, but it was just like, it's like, just being in a creative mindset, like it's something that you don't know. If it might happen, it might happen. Like I always wanted to do movies and stuff like that. I'm just so interested in like the creative process and everything like that. So it's just like anything I was open to, like TV shows, movies, everything. So it's just like him giving me. We also did stuff for Charlamagne before Atlanta. So Charlamagne, the guy, he had a show, Uncommon Sense.
Oh, you were on that?
Yeah.
I never knew that. Wow,
yeah, we was on a couple of episodes with that. Like he had us doing a couple of skits. So we did some TV, and then I did the Atlanta thing, but that was just like a whole different, because that was like a segment that we did with his show, and then Atlanta was like, you know, I was in the whole episode.
You're around all these other people and stuff.
Yeah,
You're actually seeing how the whole thing works, right?
Yeah. So it was like it was different.
How did that make you feel? Because you're so used to like making content is you wake up, you start, you meet up with your friends, you make the video, whatever. It's fun. You get to take exactly as much time as you want to do it. But then you got to do the TV thing, and it's like you got 5 guys who are lighting the set up. It's like so complicated. Did it occur to you like that's the kind of thing that I want to do more of?
Okay, so when we were shooting, just like every day, everybody wake up. You know what I'm saying? That was years ago. Like I said, social media moves so fast. You'll see DJ Khaled's son side, and next week you see him, you'll be like, dang, he 2 years old. You know what I'm saying? Like these people grow up fast because you're not around them every day. So it's just like, that was years ago when we were just shooting just guerrilla style like that. And it's like, eventually we got to a more calculated way of doing things and scheduling things out. And then eventually we used to shoot videos on our iPhones. All of our videos were shot on our iPhones. I shot that whole Disappear Origin, the 20-minute short film.
And these are old iPhones. These ain't iPhone 7s.
Nah, these are iPhone 5s. Yeah. So it's like that 20
screen cracked.
Yeah, for real. So it's like that 20-minute short film that has over 1 million views, almost 2 million views, explaining where the disappearing came from. Like that was all shot on my phone, and that was all edited on my phone. So it's just like we didn't have everything that everybody else might think we had. Like they might have thought we had lighting and this and that and all these sound quality things. We didn't have anything. So we were shooting on our phones, and eventually, you know, we had to progress. But, you know, before I did the Atlanta, we was already at the point where it's like we were scheduling shoots, and we have cameramen, and, you know, we scripting things out, and we're, you know, so I was, only thing that was like new to me and that I was just like taking in is like the process of things, you know, like how things work, you know, and how they navigate different things like that. Cause you got to deal with a lot of people. And my thing is, how do you deal with people? And when I go into a new environment, I always want to learn, you know, I'm like, I soak in a lot of information. I'm just quiet. I might be a quiet person depending on what I'm doing. I got different moods. So depending on what I'm doing, I can sit there and just, you know, I just be quiet. And I'm just learning and listening, but sometimes I might just, you know, depending on the environment. But I was used to it.
That's what I've heard somebody say. Like, if you have to hire somebody ever to do anything for you, that you should think of that as like a paid internship. Like you're paying them to basically teach you how to do something that they know how to do. So like, even in the sense of that, it's like they're paying you to be there on set and everything. But the best thing that you can do is use all that time to just pay attention to everything that's going on, because, you know, it's a lucky situation to be in. You're not going to be in that situation every single day, and you could just make the most of it like that, you know?
Oh, true. Forever. And like, so I'm not on season 2 of Atlanta, right? They're coming out with a season 2, but I did write for it.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, I wrote for season 2. They didn't bring me back, but I did write for season 2, right?
That's
so
awesome.
I came out in LA. I'm from the East Coast. I came out to LA.
Maryland.
Yeah.
Real
Maryland.
small town?
From PG County.
Okay.
PG County. It's a small community, and a lot of people don't really, come from there and do major things. So I support anybody, coming from there. So, but I came here and we was writing for it, and this was at Donald's house. So we're doing like the writer's room and everything like that. And the whole time, this is like my first writer's room. So the whole time I'm like quiet, just I was just like so like, you know what I'm saying?
Because these people are so used to this.
Yeah, and I'm so used to being like, I've been to LA a couple of times, like probably like 3 times before I was with him and doing that in the writer's room. But it was just like surreal, you know what I'm saying? It was just like dang, this is, you know what I'm saying, what I'm doing now. And it was just like, it put me at a place where I was just like quiet and I was just listening. Like I couldn't really say much, and sometimes like I understand, so that's why I put me in like, I understand when people get around me and they might be a fan and they might not know what to say to me. They might not know how I think, because they just like, it's just in a different moment. So like being there in that writer's room, it was like, I felt like I was taking in so much information. Like if I open up my MacBook, I guarantee I got the notes from that day. Like I was in there. Nobody told me to do it, but it was just like me seeking that knowledge and just wanting to know. Like I was taking notes in there. Like I was like, the first couple of days, I was just like logging down how everything worked, like how they do everything, like what are they focused on, like this and that. Like it was just different things like that, and like it was the best thing ever.
That's amazing. Yeah. So from that though, like, do you feel like you're going out of your way to get more TV work, or is that something that you're just going to sort of let it come to you?
Am I going out of my way, like chasing it?
Yeah. Are you like going after it, or is it just sort of come to you?
Nah. I definitely let it come to me. I'm not chasing anything. Like I believe that I have a vision of my own before anybody can come and touch me and say, "Oh, I want you to do this. I want you to do that." I look at myself and say, "I want to do this. I want you. You gotta know yourself first." So it's like I'm not chasing anything. I'm just chasing my vision.
What's the vision like at this point? Like when you wake up in the morning and you're in creative mood, like what typically do you feel like you want to funnel that energy into?
I feel like it's like I relate to Kanye, like in his rants and stuff, because it's frustrating, like being a creative. Like I wake up and like have 50 different things going through my head. You know what I'm saying? Like talking to 50 different people about this, about that. I might be calling my engineer to do this with this song. I might be calling a videographer to finish editing this, and call my manager working on this, and then working on merch over here, and then doing this over here. Then we do, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like, it can get frustrating, and just like being at a place where it's like I can't have any negative energy around me. You know what I'm saying? Because I got to be so focused, and I got to make sure my foot is on the gas, and that I'm aware of everything going on. So yeah, that's how the morning goes. It's like 50 things going through my head.
Have you had to like cut people off who were people that were around you because you felt like they were sort of didn't have your best interest in mind, or they weren't contributing to your creativity?
I'm typically the person to pinpoint that out real quick, because I'm not a judgmental person, but I read characteristics, you know what I'm saying? And I read like behavior, like, so it's like I can talk to somebody and have a conversation with them, and I'd be like, okay, this conversation is not gonna go past this level, you know what I'm saying? Intellectually, we're not going past this level. We could talk about Jordans all day, this and that, whatever, but we're not gonna be able to talk about this. So it's just like I pinpoint that quick. So anybody I surround myself with is always a person that's a positive, reinforcement in my life. And any person I surround myself with is just positivity. Yeah,
that's definitely important. I wanted to know, okay, so I look at someone like you, and you're like a dude who didn't really have a lot of opportunities, and you just had the talent, you put the talent online, eventually it catches on, boom, you blow a following. And then I look at the new age where you have somebody like Boom Gang and Supreme Patty and stuff, who in a lot of ways, they're similar, they're funny, they want to do creative stuff online, but they go in the direction of just doing the most extreme, absurd, illegal, immoral stuff. And I was wondering, like, how do you feel when you see that? Because that's almost like a cheat code. Is like if you trash something, or if you break something, or if you do something illegal, that's kind of like this free viral pass.
Yeah, well, like honestly, I feel like it's whack because you know what I'm saying. Like you hurting other people, you know what I'm saying, or if it's fake, you know, then that's fine. But you know, if it's real,
so
you know
kind
what I'm
of
saying.
Encouraging it too, yeah.
Yeah, but if it's real, you know what I'm saying, you could be hurting other people. I feel like that aspect is whack, but like it's about understanding, you know what I'm saying, just understanding where people come from and what the goal is. But I understand, you know what I'm saying, people want to make it, you know, people want opportunities, people want to do other things. If they're doing this to push this, if they're doing this to push music or whatever the case is, like people are just trying to make a way, and that's all they're doing, and they're gonna do it. You can never blame somebody for doing what they got to do. You know what I'm saying? You can't put that judgment on nobody. It's just like people are gonna be people. So it's just like I don't feel no way like oh he's doing this or you know doing that, and I'm doing this, and I'm on this level, or they're doing this, and they blow up. Like I don't look at it like that. I just look at it like, you know, he's doing his way, I'm just doing me. You know?
See, like I don't like it when I see somebody like trashing a 7-Eleven, but with Boonk in particular, I seen like one video of him where he's like really like rubbing up on some girl at a gas station. It seemed like it was just really like inappropriate, and that kind of like tripped me out because, you know, I think it's sort of a slippery slope. Once you start to be like, oh, you can go viral by doing something fucked up, it's like, well, if it's okay to pick on the guy who works at 7-Eleven and mess with him, then who is it not okay to mess with? And maybe we should just sort of nip this in the bud and be like, hey, it's not cool to go and fucking ruin somebody's day to make a funny Instagram clip.
Well,
but it is fucking funny sometimes. I can't deny
Boonk,
that.
I know he's a smart guy.
He's hilarious.
I know he's a smart guy. I've seen him talk. I don't know him personally, but I've seen him talk, and you know what I'm saying, just listening to him, I know he's a smart guy. So I don't think that you know, regardless of public perception and what people see, like, oh, he's crazy, you know what I'm saying, he doing this, he doing that. I don't know him personally, so I'm not saying that whatever's going on is what, but I just know that I've seen conversations that he's had where he comes off as a smart guy. So I know that deep down, like, he's aware of whatever he's doing. He's conscious of everything that he's doing, and I just hope that it's a plan to it all, and I just hope that it's a message, you know.
When you were in that writing room scenario, did that occur to you of was like, you know, because being a writer for a big TV show is like a very like rare, coveted thing if you're in the TV industry or whatever, but you're used to doing stuff on your own in a lot of ways. Did it occur to you as like, I could like do this for a career, like be in these writing room scenarios, be involved in the production of shows, or do you want to have more of like a straight up hands-on approach to your content?
Well, like I said, I'm used to like putting hours into like my craft. So like whenever somebody see like a whatever minute video, like I put hours into it. So it's just like I'm used to like if it takes me to sit there and we got a script out, you know what I'm saying, word for word, everything that's going on, and then it goes to the next level where I'm talking to my videographers and trying to communicate with them what I want to do, and then it goes to the next level where we're on set and now we're working with everybody trying to communicate what's going on, and now we're working with angles and this and that. So I was already, you know what I'm saying, used to the different the elements. So it's just like I wasn't like, oh, this is boring or this or that, but I love being hands-on because I feel like I'm a vision, like I see it in my head. So I love being hands-on, like I love directing, I love like, let's get the camera right here and let it come up, let it pan over his shoulder, and then we get that shoulder. You know, like I love stuff like that.
Yeah, and it's tough to give up that control. Like even like I did an interview recently, somebody interviewed me, and then they like, and I was like so excited for it. I thought it was gonna be so good because they got so much like B-roll of like all these cool things going on, and then they put it out and they didn't use like half the B-roll, and the editing was totally shit. And I was just like thinking in my head, I'm like, you know, this is why like as people get more famous, they get way more picky about who they let do content about them, you know?
For real. I don't like, we have like a super small circle. Like I edit, like even with the videographers I work with True New World Pictures, that's Matt and Ryan. Those are like my main videographers. They shoot all of my comedy videos now. Okay. So anything that like people see now, mostly is shot by them. Oh, okay. Those are the two people that shoot for me mostly, and then I'll shoot with another videographer back home named Remy, and then like all of my music videos are shot by another guy named Malcolm. But those are the only videographers I work with. And even editing my comedy videos, I still choose to edit them. Like, it's open for me to let them do it, but I just feel like my vision can, like, it's hard to communicate. And that's why I like music so much, because it's like music, when you make music, it's literally coming from here. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't say a boom bop. I mean, you can say a boom, like, and try to interpret it how you want, but when you play something and you actually learn something and play it, and you can take it from your brain to, you know what I'm saying, a sound. Same with like the videos and stuff, like taking it from my brain and then seeing it, you know, the whole process and seeing it through. It's like I only trust certain people with that process. And like even the editing, like that's something I still struggle with, where I only trust like myself with my vision sometimes. And it's like, I gotta edit it. Like I got to.
Yeah. I
gotta at least be a part of it in some fashion so I can see where it's going.
Yeah, it's like letting your kid go to school for the first time.
Yeah, it's like, like I can't imagine just
take
having
your baby and just give it out into the world.
I can't imagine just having to stay back and like just shoot something and just, you know what I'm saying, see where it comes from.
Yeah, I mean, like probably the more realistic way that you could get used to it is if you found an editor and you let him do his edit, and then you go through afterwards and you're like, no, I got to change this, and this. But I don't know, even that, it's like a big, you know, sacrifice time-wise. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's why it's important for people to put time in their craft. Like I know with like my music videos, Malcolm Minicon videos, he shoots most of my music videos, and he's like a super underrated videographer. He's from Texas, but he just moved out here. He's like super underrated, but it's just like when I shoot videos with him, like he's one of the videographers where I don't really question. And I already got, like I said, I wake up with 50 things going through my brain trying to do this and trying to do that. So it's like he's one of those people where I go to and be like, we'll shoot the video and I'll be like, send it back how you send it back. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen to the song, listen to this. You tell me your vibe. You tell me what you feeling, and I'll tell you, you know what I'm saying, what I was going for. You tell me how you feel about it, you know. And he's one of those people like I trust with my visions, as well as the two cameramen I work with now. Like I communicate everything to him. And you know what's funny? Like when I was younger, I was in band and I was on the drum line. I did a couple things like Silver Air Patrol, like, you know what I'm saying, leadership programs and stuff like that. And I always like doing those, I just wanted to experience it. But doing it, I hated team sports. I realized I hated team things because it was like I felt like I always covered my own end, and it was just like if they suffering, I'm not suffering. You know what I'm saying? Because I did my part. Like it's not fair. And I always felt, that's how I always felt. But it's just like getting into what I'm doing now and like the videos and stuff like that. Like it's the biggest team thing ever. So it's just like there's nothing that I do that's not connected to somebody around me. Like these videos and stuff like that. Like it's not just me. I can come up with the idea and stuff like that, but I gotta communicate this to a team. You know what I'm saying? And the team, they have to understand it, and they gotta take their vision, and they gotta understand my vision, what I'm trying to do to it. And then we gotta get on set, and then we gotta communicate that to whoever's in the video. You know what I'm saying? And then everything gotta be communicated between like managers. Like everything is all like a clockwork. You know what I'm saying? It's like this is the biggest team thing I've ever done, and it's like the best feeling.
That's awesome, yeah. I fuck with that. Have you ever thought about doing stand up?
Nah.
No? Nah. That's old school, right?
Nah, it's not that it's old school. I just feel like not to I don't even want to down myself, because I don't like when people down themselves. Not to say that I can't do it, but I just feel like it's not really, I don't know if it's really my lane. I'm a funny person in person. You know what I'm saying? I'm a funny person on camera. I can sit there, we could go back and forth, joning, roasting all day. Like, literally. I'm a funny person naturally. So, but I just feel like standing up in front of people just be weird sometimes. I don't know. Maybe it's just a comfortability thing where I just gotta get comfortable with. But I mean, as of now, I never thought about it.
I know a lot of like comedians who like that's their thrill in life, is to go to a comedy club and perform in front of 100 people or whatever, and they kill it for 20 minutes. That's their, like, they want to just do that every night. It's weird for me, because if I was going to, spend all that time writing stuff or whatever, it's like, I wouldn't want to go do that in front of one room of people. I would want to make that into a video and put it online, and ideally get, hundreds of thousands of people to see it.
Yeah.
That's what gets my dick hard.
Whoa.
Pause.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think people just go about it different ways. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody could say, like I remember when I was younger, I used to want to be a touring drummer so bad. You know what I'm saying? Even with somebody saying I want to do a comedy show at this comedy club at a sold out arena, like Kevin Hart or Dave Chappelle, whatever they want to do. So it's just like I wanted to be that touring drummer, but I was just like, if I break my leg, if I break my wrist, that's it for my career. I didn't want to be, put that on myself and let that be my only outlet. So it was just like I wanted to figure out another way. And with goals like that, with somebody wanting to open up or do a comedy show, that just may be one of their goals where it's just like, this is what I want to do. And I'm pretty sure when they get to that point, the thing is just to keep working. Don't be what does it start with a C? But you got to be consistent and you got to continue progressing. You can't be stagnant and just stay in place. Like once you get there, you got to see something else. Like, okay, I'm here now. What's next?
Yeah. Totally true. Yeah, it's kind of the end of my question list here. I guess I did want to ask about the chicken nugget thing and where exactly that came from.
The chicken nugget,
where did that start?
So stay away from these chicken nuggets. Everybody got to stay away from these chicken nuggets.
I don't really eat those.
That's good.
Yeah.
First of all,
I love chicken,
chicken is great.
I'll go with Popeyes.
Chicken nuggets are unhealthy.
Yeah,
one.
They're gross.
What chicken nuggets represent to me and I use them as a literal thing that you can see. I might have a chicken nugget in my video saying, like, what I'm saying, pulling a gun out on a chicken nugget, making it that serious and that dramatic, and that's funny. But it's just like chicken nuggets to me is just like negativity. Somebody just that don't want to see you succeed, don't want to see you do great things. You don't want to see me make it. You don't want to be a part of what I'm going on. You a chicken nugget. And that's just a funny name, you know what I'm saying? Not being disrespectful. It's just like you a chicken nugget for real. I'm staying away from all chicken nuggets.
I appreciate
that. Keep them chicken nuggets away from y'all.
Yeah, you were saying earlier, you're like, yeah, man, like, I went to church and somebody was asking me for a shout out or something.
Yeah, man, that's crazy. I was like, dang, I can't come to church. Like, it was crazy. She was like, yeah, I got this little cupcake boutique company. And I was like, oh yeah, for real? I was like, let me see the pictures. Just trying to gaze. Let me see the pictures. Yeah, them joints look good. I'll buy some. Yeah, post them up on your page. I was like,
Yeah. Well, that's
people
what the
follow me for comedy and stuff like that.
That's what the story is good for, at least, is that maybe, but I ain't shining on no damn cupcake. Maybe if you had like a funny idea to like do a little Snapchat type thing with a cupcake real quick, but I don't know.
But it's like forced.
Yeah, I
don't force anything. I don't force anything. And one thing that like I'll share with the people something that Donald told me, right? Matter of fact, I don't even think it was Donald. I think it was his brother Steve. I was at his crib and I was just talking to him about some things that we were talking to TV networks and stuff like that, doing different things. And the best advice what he told me that always stuck with me is just like the biggest power I'm gonna have is to say no. And I've always been that person, but it was just something that, what I'm saying, that made it solid. Like, you could say no because like people gonna try to sway you to do this. They gonna try to get you to do that. And I'm a strong-minded person, so can't nobody make me do anything. But it's just like, especially when you start dealing with different companies and, what I'm saying, people start throwing money in your face for this and that, they try to sway you with money, and that's people's downfall. They get swayed with money, and it's not like that with me. It's just like, I'm gonna say no. I'm not doing this. I'm not gonna post no cupcakes. It's not about money. It's not about how much you giving me. There's apps that, what I'm saying, app companies that try to give me whatever. It's just like, no. What I'm saying? It's not about what you trying to pay me. It's just, it don't make sense.
Yeah. In the long term. That's one thing that I'm glad with podcasts is that everybody who does podcasts does ads for all these goofy ass companies. So I don't really feel bad about it.
Yeah, you could just throw it in the beginning and whatever you want to do. You know what I'm saying? It's
I figure
fine.
It's like, this is what people do on podcasts. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to do it. So fuck it.
Yeah, it's just, and the thing is, it don't interrupt the content. You know what I'm saying? Like the rest of the show, it don't interrupt it. But like with a video, imagine like me throwing a, like, you know what I'm saying? Like the thing is, the company is 9 times out of 10 gonna do too much and say, oh, we need a specific shot of the thing. Make sure you show the brand name. Make sure it's like, no.
Yeah.
Like, no.
Yeah, don't. It's like you can't you can't get rid of your real authentic personality in favor of just like making something, because then that's what happens to these people. They start making a bunch of different people happy. They start making a bunch of little different moves, and then all of a sudden the fans can tell that you're no longer yourself and you're sort of a composite of all these other desires that people had for you, and then they just lose interest. They find somebody younger and rawer. If you
know what's funny, like I feel like that's the reason. That's part of the reason why I'm not moving. I don't feel like I want to move to like LA. Is because I feel like there's a great atmosphere out here. You know what I'm saying? I'm from the East Coast. There's a great atmosphere out here, and there's so many connections and stuff like that. But like so many people try to sway you to do this and try to make you do this and make you influence you to do that, and it's just like, nah, like dog, I'm good. I got my vision. I know where I want to be. I got my goals, and I got them in line for real. Like it's not a joke. Like I know what I want to do, and I know my plan and how I'm gonna execute it. So it's just like being in Maryland and being back home is just like away from, like I move out here and I be moving around, going here, doing this, doing that. And anywhere I'm going, I'm moving around, but it's like back home, it's like I could just chill. You know what I'm saying? Like I could really put my time in and just sit back and relax and just like look at things and just reflective.
Yeah, out here it's like all the things, all the influences you're going to be taking in are going to start to sort of be the same influences that everybody else is taking in, because everybody else is out here. And it's like, you know, I feel that way too, where it's like I was thinking if I wanted to write a book or work on some like big long-term project, that I probably want to go back to where I grew up in New Hampshire, because out here there's so much shit going on. It's like impossible for me to fucking just not be involved with all the shit that's going on.
Yeah, it's like so many like I get text messages every day. Like you can come out here with I came out here with a clear schedule. You know what I'm saying? But it's like I get text messages every day. Yo, pull up to here, do this, do that, and it's just like, nah. Like
you can't let other people decide your schedule for you. You can't just say yes to every opportunity, because then you'll never end up having time for yourself.
Yeah, and it's just like but what do you want to do? You know what I'm saying? Like what was you planning on doing today? Like did you want to script a video? You know what I'm saying? Did you want to go out? If you take pictures, did you want to go take some pictures or scout for some locations? If you making merch, did you want to, like, you know what I'm saying, go talk to your designers and put some merch down on a panel or design it? Like, what did you want to do today? Like, I'm not worried about who's trying to do this and partying and this and that. Like, I'm super focused.
Because if your mindset is, if you're the kind of person who's going to get that phone call like, oh, yo, there's a pop-up shop and they got free beer at 7, like we should go, and you don't actually have the balls to be like, nah, I'm good. I got shit I'm working on. Then you're going to have a hard time, because, you know, you got to.
People think like you, like, they think like you're the coolest person. Like when you out doing this, nah, I'm telling you, you're the coolest person when you could tell somebody no. For real. When you could look at somebody and be like, nah, that's when you're the coolest person. You know what I'm saying? Like, I respect that. Like it's just a conversation. Like people look at things like words as more than what it is. Like, oh, he being disrespectful, this and that. But it's just like, I believe that when you expressing how you feel, you need to be 100. You know what I'm saying? And tell people what you want and how you want it done. Even females too, because with women, when they do that, it's looked at as like, you know, a bad thing. Like, oh, she can't tell me how she wants. You know what I'm saying? Like they look at it like, whoa, she want what? Like, but you know, if a guy said, it's like, okay, you know, he a boss. You know what I'm saying? But it's not like that. So it's just like everybody needs to be able to keep it 100 and say what they want. Like say exactly what you want. Like be expressing yourself.
Yeah, be raw, be unfiltered with it. Like I get a real thrill out of like people coming to me and just telling me like, oh, we want you to do all this, and just being like, nah, I'm good. You know, it's just not me. And like they just don't understand. And I'm like, nah, I'm like, I know what I'm doing. And if I don't like it, then I'm not doing it, you know?
Yeah, they try to be like,
it's a thrill.
But you could, but you know what I'm saying? But we gonna do this, you know what I'm saying? We gonna do this after. It's like, nah, I'm good.
I was around a homie the other day who was just like telling me, oh, there's this festival, there's this show, there's big festival, all these different weekends, all this shit. He's like, you're going to all this shit, right? I'm like, I mean, maybe. Like if I feel like it, or if they're trying to pay me or some shit.
That's why it's like, I feel like it's important for me not to live in LA, because like I feel like, and even people that I spoke to, you know what I'm saying, I talk to a lot of people that live here, where they tell me you just get consumed and, you know what I'm saying, stuff like that. And that's why I won't, like, excuse me, I don't want to move from the DMV. I don't want to move from PG County or Maryland, because like I want to show people there, like, you don't got to go to LA. You don't got to go to New York. You don't have to move to Atlanta. Like, you can go out and get the connections. It's important. Like for people back home, like a flight is not that expensive. You know what I'm saying? Like just don't buy the Jordans.
Right.
It's okay. Like, you know what I'm saying? Jordans is $260 if you wearing a size 12 or something like that, like 180, something like that. Like that's how much a flight is. You can get a round trip for that. You know what I'm saying? Go experience the world. You know what I'm saying? Like don't spend your money on like this material stuff don't mean nothing. Like we get all of this stuff to die in the end, like these shades, everything, all of that, we just die. You know what I'm saying? It's just about with the influence that you leaving and the experience and the knowledge that you gaining throughout the world. It's like, go book a flight. You know what I'm saying? Go somewhere else. You got the shades on. And it's like, and I got the chain on. So it's like, it's cool. You know what I'm saying? It's cool, but it's all good. But you got to know in your heart that don't mean nothing. Yeah. Bro, like I went through, I remember I was like, I used to go in my closet. Like, I remember I had like 2 pairs of jeans in my closet. I used to cancel everything, every single move. People used to be like, "Oh, come here." I had 2 pairs of jeans in my closet. I didn't want to wear the same pairs of jeans. And then it got to a point where I was getting money. You know what I'm saying? I was buying clothes, and I started buying like a little bit of designer. And it's like I pick up stuff real fast. Like I said, I be reading people and stuff like that. So I read myself. So I just pick up stuff real fast. Like, who do you think you are? You know what I'm saying? Like you buying $400 pair of shoes for what? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Even the Versace flip flops I got on now, like I'd be like, I bought it for what? You know what I'm saying? It might have just been like, you know what I'm saying? I just want to splurge on whatever. It don't matter, but I have it. But it's just like.
But a lot of people, like, they could take that money and save it to buy a crib or to buy, a car or to travel or to do this and this, and they just end up blowing it on jeans.
Don't buy anything unless you could buy it at least 5 times. You know what I'm saying? Like. Unless you could buy it at least 5 times, because that's when you had the money to do this, to do that. But it's just like important to experience life and stuff like that. And I was going to my closet, after having so many clothes, like, oh, I wore this last week. You know what I'm saying? I wore this out to this party. I wore this over here. We took pictures with in this. You know what I'm saying? And I'd be at the store every week, like, I need to buy this. I need to buy that. Trying to keep up with this. And it was just a cycle. It was just a cycle. And I realized it real quick where I was like, I low-key want to just throw everything in my closet away, but I just spent money on it, so I was like, I ain't gonna throw it away.
And you know what it is? It's all these corporations that have basically like tricked people into not only thinking that it's normal to spend, $200 on a shirt, $300, $400 on a shirt or shoes or whatever, but they've convinced you that it's normal to spend that much and then not ever wear it again. Like, you should only really be wearing this stuff once for social media or whatever. Like, this is a crazy thing that all these designer brands and everything have fooled the people into.
It's not just designer brands, it's artists. It's the people that people look up to. You know what I'm saying? They promote this too. You know what I'm saying? It's not just the designer. Like, ain't nobody forcing nobody to go buy Gucci and wear it for one show and throw it away. Or just keep it in the closet. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody forcing nobody to do that. But it's your decision. Whatever you make, that's what it is. But it's just like, and if you got it, you got it. Like I said, don't buy it unless you buy it 5 times. If you could buy it 5 times, go buy your Gucci. You know what I'm saying? Go flex. It don't matter. That's you. But I'm just saying, just be smart, and just make sure you know what you're spending your money on, and just you got to be able to prioritize, what you want to do. It's just like that extra stuff is not important.
Yeah, I feel. Hey, last question is, how did you end up linking up with Gleesh? Because Gleesh is a DMV legend, as you are slowly becoming, and I just thought that was cool that you guys ended up collabing.
So I linked up with Gleesh. I came out here, I think it was sometime last year. I was at Complex Con, and I was doing the writing for Atlanta and stuff like that. So I was out here, and then my boy Cheech hit my phone. He was like, yo, DJ Bluetooth trying to link you up with Gleesh. And
shout out Bluetooth. Yeah,
shout out Bluetooth. He was like, DJ Bluetooth trying to do something with you and Gleesh and everything like that. And I already knew about Gleesh and stuff. So I was like, yeah, just link us. So he linked us, and then that's when I got over there, and we sat down, we talked, and we was just rapping to each other about back home and stuff like that. And we did that, and we made it happen. And that was like history right there. I had a moonwalking on the cement,
Did you grow up saying Mo Kill at the end of all your sentences?
You know what's funny? Like the way Gleesh say it is funny. Like he say Mo Kill.
Mo Kill.
But in that context, it can't be said like that. It just depends on the context you say it. Like in my context, on my day-to-day basis, I say kill Mo. The other way around. He might say, but it all depends on, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you was to show me something wild on your laptop, I'd be like, dang, Mo, kill. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's where it's just like, I'm excited. But like, on my day-to-day basis, it's just like, if I'm like, you tell me something wild, crazy that happened in your life, and I don't really got nothing to, you know, I ain't gonna force no explanation like, oh, maybe they did it because of this, maybe this happened. But me just understanding what you saying, I was just like, kill, Mo.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Kill, that's tough.
Thank you for glitch, because otherwise I would be, what the fuck is he talking about? I remember, because he would always be saying it on Twitter at the end of every sentence, just Mo, and I'd be like, what is that?
Well, Mo is just like saying, bro. It's just like saying, what's good, bro?
Yeah, I had to interview him to figure that out. I had to ask him straight up.
He told you it was like that?
Actually, I think I might have seen him explain it on Twitter before I did the interview, so I felt like I kind of understood.
Yeah, it's just like saying, bro, like when people be like, they be confused, like, who is Mo? Like, what is this? You know, I be on Twitter all day talking about some Mo or Kill or something like that, and they be confused, and it's just him, her, you know what I'm saying, me, you, it's just everybody Mo. So it's just
respect Mo culture.
Mo. Yeah. For real.
All right, so what you got coming up that you're like excited about, that you want the people to be aware of?
For one, we working, oh my God, we working on so much. We be like, when I say 50 things, we go like, it be so much that we working on. Like, we got a couple of, for one, I have a show, Arizona, November 14th at Club Red. Go get y'all tickets right now. If you in Arizona, we definitely turning that drain up. This is my first time in Arizona, and they say it's so lit, so we gonna party for real.
They got some ladies out there.
I don't know, I'm taking.
I'm
not paying attention.
To shake hands with.
Yeah, shake hands with.
Yeah. And
do the peace sign for her.
That's what you do.
Yeah. So we got that going. We got that coming up. We working on for everybody who is like, somebody put something behind these guys. I don't know if I should be talking about this.
Something bigger.
We're working on something huge.
Ooh.
Not something bigger. We're working on something huge. So with that being said, like, don't worry. We not going anywhere anytime soon. Like, we working on something real big, and it's gonna be a show. Yeah, it's gonna be a show for the world. So that's coming. We got that performance coming. We got that show coming. I'm working on something. We in talks with Complex right now. Got something going on over there, and then we working on some merch coming out. I have another song I'm about to drop, and like, it's ready now. Only reason I ain't drop it is because I just dropped a video, and I need that to do numbers first. So I got another song I'm about to drop as well, and a visual for it as well. It's like so much going on, and it's like, I don't like to. Only reason I just don't like to put everything out there, because I just want people to just be like, dang. Like, I want people to be like, dang, you know what I'm saying? And then when I come and do like an interview with like you, it's just like, you got so much more to talk about, where it's just like, you did this, you did that, you did that, you did that, you know? And I just want to make sure I just show people, you know? Yeah. But that was a taste of what we got coming. So it was just like so much. I'm hyped, man. I got a lot of confidence in you. I had no idea you were so young. I thought you were going to be like 24, 25 or something. Yeah, people be saying that. You put in a lot of work. Yeah, it's just that's why I be telling people, like, start young. I love talking to, even though I'm a part of the youth, like, I got an old soul. So it's just like, even though I'm a part of the youth, I'm 19 years old. I talk to people younger than me, like, you know what I'm saying, trying to inspire them and just telling them to do more. Like, I didn't have a relationship with my uncles that was like, you know what I'm saying, super tight. When I talk to my nephews, like, I'm super tight with them. I don't talk to them like my nephew. I talk to them like, yo, what's going on in your life? You know what I'm saying? Right. Like, what do you need? Like, I give them a little $20 or something. I don't know what a little kid gonna spend $20 on, but I just be like, go put it somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, Gucci. Go off-white. Yeah, go buy some YSL or something like that. I don't know what he gonna spend it on, buy a lollipop or something. But it's just like, just having that connection and just talking to them and just, you know what I'm saying, just being around and just, you know what I'm saying, being present, like, that's important. Hell yeah. Well, I'm very thankful that you came in and did this. It was a very informative conversation. And I'm very optimistic about your future. I feel like you're going to be a very rich man one day, a very famous guy. I think so. Mark my words. Anybody mark my words. I got faith. For real. Big time. For real, right. For real. Retro Boom wants some more. Yes, sir. People say this shit to you all the time? Yeah, they do. They be like, retro booming, what's up? I be like, hey, let's go with
I'm
that.
a different guy. Oh, you just roll with it? Okay,
hey,
good.
let's go. Metro tag is amazing. I'd be like, when I hear that, I get hyped. So hey.
That's a good person to be compared to.
Yeah, I'd be like, hey, let's get it.
Yeah. All right. Well, make sure you check out his Instagram, his YouTube. Everything's linked down in the description. This has been No Jumper, coolest podcast in the world. Check us out on YouTube, SoundCloud, iTunes.
Everything.